Chris.
And today we'll be talking about the Bachelorette. Let's get to it. So, we've got 19 guys left.
Yes.
In this episode, they're having the guys go on 2 separate group dates, and then there'll be a one-on-one date. So, Aaron B got chosen as a one-on-one date.
That's who I think will win the whole thing.
Right. So, on their date, well, first of all, Brayden was pissy about it. He was really upset. He felt like
comes off as a little what's the word? It's not controlling, but it's when somebody feel like, hey, you're mine and I can't really share you with nobody.
Possessive.
There we go. That's the word I'm looking for.
Yeah.
He comes off as that.
Very possessive in this dating game, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
With all these different guys. I don't know how you're supposed to be possessive in this type of situation.
I don't know if he knew the actual rules of the Bachelorette or the Bachelor. Maybe he's like us. Maybe he's new
like us.
Yeah, like maybe he's like, hey, like once I get the rose, I win and I get every date and I get everyone on one date. But boy, he was showing himself strong this episode.
This whole episode.
Yeah.
So the date so Charity comes. She picks him up in a Mustang.
Mm-hmm.
They are riding up all of these windy hills,
mm-hmm.
and they are going to the Hollywood sign.
Nice. Okay.
So
not nice.
Well, I didn't, but essentially that is how I felt about it.
Okay. What, cough? Like
Yeah, because I'm like, this Hollywood sign, how does this help him get to know you? Here's
what I thought. I thought it was like, oh, we're at the Hollywood sign because Hollywood sign look over Los Angeles, at least that part of Los Angeles. So I'm thinking there's something else to it, like we going to have a picnic on top of the mountains or something like that.
Yeah,
but I don't think it was like that.
Yeah, this is the scene where I realized, oh, so the person who's the Bachelor, Bachelorette, they don't plan their own dates. Because this didn't make any sense to me.
You don't know that? Maybe she planned it.
Well, she tried to connect it to herself in a way by saying this is the Hollywood sign's 100th year anniversary. And her parents have been together for however many years. They've been together for a long time.
Yeah.
So, I just wrote down terrible date.
Okay.
She ends up kissing him, so that's nice. What do you think about the date?
That's nothing new as we've seen so far, that she is she's not that shy. The first scene, like, cause this is like the first like real scene, I guess. I was just thinking like, I wonder where this go. And then once she said, this is the 100th year anniversary of the sign, of the Hollywood sign, I was like, I felt like you was fed that. Like, cause
how do you know?
How would I know? Why would I know it? And why would I care?
And you're from Georgia. So
it's like, okay. I felt like this was in my eyes, I'm like, okay, this is a little scripted. Scripted. But I was like, I'm not gonna say that about this show because I'm new to the show.
Right.
Everybody been watching the show. I haven't watched the show. So I'm like, maybe she did history once they moved the show to California. I don't know. But it felt very staged.
Yeah.
That is the word I wrote in my notes. Staged.
I agree. So we go back to the house. And so Aaron S.,
yes,
is saying that he can tell who's there for the right and the wrong reasons. He's speaking to the guy Adrian, the black bald guy. Yeah, who has, so his whole thing is that I have a 1-year-old daughter. I'm out here and I sacrificed to be here. And to him, it seems like the guys are just playing around and jumping in the pool, and they're not here for the right reasons.
I have a question. Are they in a mansion?
Yes.
Is there a pool?
Yes. What are they supposed to be doing, Adrian?
Are they staying there?
Yes.
Are they allowed to use the things that's part of the house?
Absolutely.
So what's the problem?
Exactly. Charity's not there.
I'm about to say, like, Charity already took Aaron. You know what I mean? So it's like, what do I supposed to do while she's out on a date? Like, write down notes, read?
Sit in my room, stare at the wall?
Like, no.
Like, what the hell, Adrian? Anyway. So they walk in. So we go back to the date, and they walk in front of the Hollywood sign, and Aaron B brings out his lucky coin.
And I told you about that coin in the first episode.
And he admits it's a double-sided coin.
I told
y'all. Okay. So they kiss again in front of the sign. They play like a lot of romantic music.
A beautiful photo op. Almost, I would say, like a staged photo op. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yes.
So pretty much I'm not buying this connection. Charity, she goes on to say that she feels like this is a love that's indispensable and can last through the ages.
This is episode 10. 12.
2.
She got that in the second episode.
Yeah.
That she felt like the love is what you say?
She said indispensable and can last through the ages.
Oh, this is the finale.
No. We just got started.
Okay.
You want to know what I wrote down?
Please tell me, because I have no idea.
You don't know this man.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Using words like indispensable on a show that eliminates contestants is very it's a contradiction. Yeah. You know? Yeah. Trust me, there won't be 19 men left at the end of this episode.
Only one.
So you are indispensable, you know, but go ahead. So you're not indispensable, rather.
Right. So then they move on to what I considered the real date, when they actually sat down, were able to eat and talk to each other.
That wasn't a real date to me, but go ahead.
Why not?
Because they still haven't talked about each other yet.
True.
To me, that was more fake than the actual date at the Hollywood sign, or like whatever they was doing.
Well, Aaron, he revealed a little bit more about himself. So Charity asked him about one of his last relationship. Yeah. He said he was in a 4-year relationship in college. He said he wasn't doing right by the girl. He ended up going to therapy so he could be a better guy. And Charity, she acknowledged his feelings and respected him being vulnerable. And I was just so like...
But she wasn't vulnerable.
She wasn't vulnerable. And I noticed this thing with Charity, and I don't know if it's with all the bachelorettes and bachelors. It's very like... I want you to feel special and important and seen, but I don't feel like she's really present in the date on one-on-one with a person. It's just kind of like, just like how you may go to a celebrity and be like, oh my gosh, like, it's so great to meet you. And they'll say, yes, thank you. It's nice to meet you. Yes, we can take a picture. That's the vibe I'm getting from Charity.
So basically, like, she
might just be overwhelmed by everything. I don't know.
So it's like she's the celebrity and they are like the
fan.
The fan.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how they was acting last episode. They was acting like she was like the celebrity, and maybe because she was on the last season or whatever it was. But yeah, like I wrote down. I ain't write down nothing like you wrote down. I wrote down, Aaron B is tearing up on national television. Get yourself together, man. Why are you tearing up, man?
Yeah.
And that would let me know that. That will let me know that, like, oh, she's not really vulnerable. Because this man tearing up talking about, he's straight revealing his wounds and scars. And I'm like, bro, you just met her, bro. I wouldn't have said that.
Yeah.
On date number 1.
And you want to give a little and get a little. In these dates.
Like bait.
Right.
Like, I'm going to say something that going to make you share something. That going to make me share something. That going to make you share something.
Yeah.
But no.
Yeah.
No.
She pretty much always says, I appreciate you for saying that and being vulnerable.
I ain't like that. Because that's the only person she said that to. She said, that was brave.
To everybody who brought something up.
Okay.
But all right.
I feel you.
So we go back to the house. The guys are waiting for Aaron to get back. And then the host, he says that there's going to be another date. So they bring out another date card. And there is group date 1.
Yeah.
And that is with Dalton, Aaron, John, Caleb A, Caleb B, Caleb K, all these Calebs. Xavier, James, Sean, Aaron S, Braden, and one other, Tanner.
Oh, I'm happy you wrote down and remember the names.
Yeah.
Because
And they're going to go play volleyball. Dodgeball. They went to go play dodgeball.
Mm-hmm.
So
this is where you got Braden. I wrote down because he said it very specifically. I think he said it in his confessional, or maybe Braden may have said it to everybody. Mm-hmm. He said that I don't like losing. Mm-hmm. So if it's going to be a competition or if it's going to be a group thing, I don't like losing.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, thank you for that information, Braden.
Yeah,
I appreciate that.
So at this point, I was interested in what is the real history of this show, because the date didn't feel authentic. Mm-hmm. And these group dates, I'm just like, how is she really getting to know anyone and spend time with people? Mm-hmm. Like, this is chaotic. So we did a little research. And so out of the 26 seasons, only 10 people are actually still together.
Less than 50%.
Yeah. So I thought that was pretty interesting.
Oh, I'm about to say, how? please connect the dots for me there. Of like you said, you like that made you look at the history. So like you felt like based on the dates that you've seen so far.
Like, I didn't see how anyone...
Like, there's no deep connections?
Yeah, like, I'm like, how can you form a deep connection and have longevity? And at the end of this, they get engaged and get ready to get married. Okay. So, I'm like, how are these people getting to that point with these kind of dates? Okay. So, and maybe just because it's the second episode, we'll see how the season goes as the guys dwindle and how the connections grow. But right now, I'm just like, this is too many people for her to really get to know anybody. Hey. So then they're on the beach. They're playing dodgeball. The winning team gets to go to an after party where the guys get to spend a little bit more time with Charity one-on-one. So the really funny thing about the scene is when they were throwing the dodgeballs and there was a crowd. Of women around. And the guys had to wear these little like thong... Speedos. Yeah. So they started throwing the balls and women were dodging and ducking and catching. And
I was like, why are they so close?
I was like, why is there an audience for this? But apparently this is part of the show. This is what they do for these competitions. So the team that ended up winning was the pink team. And then they get an MVP from the other team, which is Adrian, who gets to go with them.
The one who feel like everybody's not there.
Yeah, everybody's here for play.
Everybody there for play. They're not serious like Adrian.
Right.
And he was so serious that he won MVP on the losing team, and he got to join the winning team with his MVP trophy. Okay, Adrian, you're here. We see you. You're very serious. We see you, brother.
Right. So they go to like some lounge place where they get cocktails, and the first guy she talks to is Braden, who's like super excited and giddy to talk to her. Yeah. Which in the first episode I thought was cute. But the now more it's going on,
it's starting to come off a little weird.
It's a little bit like I'm feeling a little crazy.
I think it's like you said. It's like she's a celebrity, and like everybody else is just a fanboy.
That's exactly it. That's how Braden's coming across, like a fanboy, and not like genuinely trying to form a connection and get to know her. Like he wants to win, pretty much, is what I'm getting. And so Braden is stressed out. He's talking to all the guys. So Adrian, he goes to talk to Charity. Okay. So we're just kind of highlighting the major scenes. So Adrian sits down and talks with Charity, and his conversation is about the other guys in the house and what they're doing versus anything about him.
Nobody's still not talking about themselves.
Right. Other than him saying, I think he told her that he had a 1-year-old daughter. Okay. And other than that, it was, I don't really know, if the guys have good intentions. They kind of feels like a lot of them are on spring break. Yeah. And that stuck in her head. Yeah. She couldn't shake that.
Then she got up and came to the room where the guys were. It was like, hey, it came to my attention that, that a lot of guys here are not serious. And she gave how the teacher come to the classroom and gave like a talking to or like a parent come and talk to the kid. I was like, hey, man, if you didn't want me to use the pool, if you didn't want me to use the jacuzzi,
why is it here?
You should have put me in an apartment or like a motel or something like that. But like, how would you know that I'm not here seriously for you?
Yeah.
The first thing I did when I got out of the limo, I gave you a gift. You know what I mean? Like, what do I supposed to do while I wait while you date 18 other guys? Mm-hmm. What do I supposed to do? I don't know. Adrian was looking very suspect to me, and that surprised me because Adrian, you supposed to be, you know, but you over there running behind people's backs and talking about the group of guys that you still gotta live and be there with.
Exactly.
I'm like, I did not expect that from.
You're making it real uncomfortable for yourself.
From you. I mean, maybe not. Maybe for him, he's making it uncomfortable for them because he ain't no small guy. But he's like, hey, I just didn't expect that from him. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? To put himself out like that. Yeah. That was just strange.
And guess who ends up winning the rose?
Who ended up winning the rose?
John.
Now,
and John was the fortune cookie guy from the beginning.
Now, granted, just so like if you watch the show and you're hearing our review, in the date with Aaron got a rose for that date. I believe.
Yeah, he got a rose.
He got a rose for
that date. Mm-hmm.
So for the each group, for the group that Adrian was in, Adrian didn't even get a rose.
Doing all that
talking and gave it to John.
So the next group of guys get to go to, they're going to some public park place where there's another huge crowd of people. They're on a stage and they play this game. Well, 2 of the previous bachelorettes come. And initially I was like, oh, like she's got some friends. She's got some support.
Yeah. But, I ain't know who those women were.
Yeah. But they essentially planned her date for her. Okay. And the first part of the date was pretty much things of why do you like Charity? What's beautiful about her? What most attractive about her to you? And then they reveal that the winner will get to break the longest record of a kiss on Bachelorette history of like 3 minutes, 20 something seconds.
Yeah, I think. Oh, and this is when I first learned that this is called it's called Bachelor Nation. Yeah. So I think the Bachelor is like the mothership. And the Bachelorette is like, you know, came after. So I think this is the Bachelor record. Yeah. Overall. Yeah.
So the guys up there are Warwick, John Henry, Spencer, Joey, Josh, and Michael. So Joey ends up winning.
Well, hold on. Yeah. In this little competition, they had to answer questions like, where do they place their hands when they kiss somebody? Yeah. Things like that. And then they had to demonstrate on their hand.
Oh, yeah, kissing.
How they would kiss someone. And it was at that moment I wrote down, this show ain't for us. I really wrote down. And when I say for us, right, I said, this show ain't for us. Because I had to ask, I said, what is the demographic?
Yeah, then we went back to researching.
For the show. Yeah. Because I tell you, we're new to this. We're not true to this. Now, just because the show may not be for us, please watch us. You know what I mean? All is welcome. But I'm going to talk about y'all. And I'm going to talk about y'all show. It was at this moment I realized this show is not a dating show. It's a game show. This has nothing to do, even though they may try to package it and make it seem like it's a dating show and it's about love. No, it's not. It's not about love. It's about entertainment. It's about putting guys in Speedos and make them play dodgeball.
And getting the crowd and the demographic excited. Yeah. So that's why when I looked up the demographic, women ages 18 to 49, majority white women. And I was like, oh, okay. This is why these guys are in all these compromising weird positions, showing their body and doing all this stuff. Yeah, because it gets the crowd going.
Yeah, it gets the crowd going. So like they was kissing to, like your point. You said Joey won, correct? Yeah. And Joey got to kiss her, and while they are kissing, the loser guys who hands is probably still wet from them kissing their hands, they had to stand there and watch for 4 minutes and I believe 22 seconds or 4 minutes 25 seconds. Yeah. And while like they're kissing, like you hear like people cheering. You hear the old bachelorettes. You say it was.
Yeah, they're like
they are giving commentary,
play-by-play, like it's a sports game. Like I'm just like, what in the hell am I watching?
I'm like this show ain't for us.
Right, but we gonna watch it and review it. Interesting. Okay, so they wrap up the evening. The guys are pretty salty. Who had to stand there and watch that. They go back to the house and they're pretty much just debriefing on what happened at the date. Braden always has a lot to say. In every group setting, he is the most vocal and opinionated. So in this setting, he's saying that, oh, I wouldn't have sat there and watched that. Then where would you have gone?
I mean, that's usually how it is.
Like, what you gonna do if you still want to be on the show? Like, where were you gonna go? And he even takes it to the point where he says that he is judging her character now because he felt like she was being disrespectful. Yeah. And kissing this guy for this long in front of all the other guys.
And that was his point where he was like, you doing that in front of the other guys. I'm standing up for them. Matter of fact, I'm going to pack my bags because I don't want to be like on a show where you're going to disrespect me like that or like disrespect people like that. So that's how far he took it. He said, I'm going to pack my bags.
I'm like, Braden, do you know what show you signed up for?
But
it seemed like he didn't.
But I ain't asked that question because I never watched the show. So I'm like, maybe this ain't the first time this happened. So I'm just watching, just having no opinion. Yeah. Besides, this show ain't for me. You know what I mean? Like, that's the only opinion I had. Like, in my head, I'm just like, oh, maybe this is just like maybe people feel jealous. You know what I mean? So I'm just watching. Go ahead.
So we get to where there's a cookout and where Charity's coming to spend more time with the guys. Yeah. And Braden, he says, I pack my bags before the cookout. If she doesn't say the right thing and clear this up for me, I'm gone.
I feel you.
There's the door. He can leave.
Oh, are you telling him that he can leave? Did you feel that way?
That's how I felt.
I ain't feel that way.
My bags is packed. Okay.
But I feel like, hey.
See you later.
I feel like if you really like me, then you would change the way you are moving and give me all the one-on-one days.
Very interesting. So Braden, he's able to snag Charity, and he doesn't really address the situation the way that he was talking about it as big and bad as before. Yeah. He's very smiley. He was like, what was up with the kiss? Like,
yeah, well, come on. Now, let's not misrepresent him. He wasn't that smiley. But
I felt like that's how I felt.
But at the same time, he was very thorough with the I ain't like that. And basically questioning what was it about. And basically feeling like he's about to leave. Yeah. And at that point, I wrote down, oh, this is Braden's villain arc. This is what going on. This is what they're shaping him to be, the villain of the show. Basically of how he's being portrayed. And he is contributing to this villain arc as well, too. So it was at that moment where I was like, oh, Braden is going to be the villain. Yeah. The guy that everybody has to defeat. It's just how it works.
Right. So he talks to Charity, and her response was that she didn't mean anything maliciously. Yeah. She wanted to do a good job of making sure that the winner, Joey, was able to feel special and have his time. And she really wasn't trying to hurt anyone else's feelings.
Hell, if she was to tell it, she didn't know what was going to happen that day.
She didn't know. She didn't even plan the day.
So I'm with you.
So I don't know. That's why I was just so thrown off and confused by Braden's response, because Charity is trying to juggle all these guys the best she can. And apparently that response was good enough for him. So he's like, yeah, I'm going to stay.
Yeah. Good job. Good job, Charity. You made me stay.
Right. Next, she sits down with Adrian, the nobody can have fun guy.
Daddy Adrian.
Exactly. So Adrian, he apologizes to her for the spring break comment because he sees how upset it made her. Yeah. And she tells him, no, you don't have to apologize to me. Like, I want to know what's going on. Yeah. Yeah. So now Adrian, instead of talking about himself again, he's talking about Braden. And he said, well, Brayden was really upset with you kissing. He said he called you classless.
Yeah, he actually called Brayden out by name.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then Charity, that really had her fired up. Because, first of all, she was saying, I didn't know that now he thinks of me as classless. That's not the same conversation that we had.
Yeah, and make it seem like he was lying to her.
Right. So, Charity, she leaves the party.
Yeah.
And
it basically was announced that she left because she felt some type of way.
Yeah.
And the guys was told to prepare for some of y'all to go home tonight, basically.
Right.
So.
And then everyone's looking around. Well, who's the last one who talked to her?
Mm-hmm. That camera zoomed in on Adrian's face so fast. Adrian looking around like, And
Adrian, he pretty much speaks up and he's just like, I spoke to her last, but I don't know what's wrong with I'm just being real and I'm being honest. And if that's looked down on, that I don't care because I'm an honest guy. I'm not going to lie, all this stuff.
Yeah.
And I think Xavier was the one in the confessional who's saying,
what are you doing, bro?
Exactly. You talking about everybody but yourself.
You're doing a lot.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, okay, whatever.
Yeah. So we get to the rose ceremony, and the guys who stays.
You actually have all the names of the guys who stayed.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So Dotson, Tanner, Caleb B, Warwick, Michael, Sean, Xavier, Aaron S, James, and then we get down to the last two roses.
Now you telling me she got rid of my guy Spencer?
I was happy to see Spencer go.
Oh, okay.
Spencer was making me nervous. Okay. Every time it came up to him.
I ain't hear my man Spencer. Maybe he's one of the last two. I don't know. but they down to the last two, and the names that I didn't hear you call is I didn't hear Brayden's name, and I didn't hear Adrian's name.
Yeah.
Now, why didn't the snitch, the one that been feeding the information, get called? And now he's down to potentially the last two. Spencer might take his spot, for all we know.
I mean, Adrian, you would think he would have been called first. With all the information he's given.
Top three. You know what I mean? Like, maybe not first, top three, you know? But it's coming down to the last two. And Adrian and Brayden standing next to each other, still without a rose.
Production was nasty for that one.
No,
that was nasty work. Had him right shoulder to shoulder. That was funny. So she calls Adrian first, and then she calls Brayden.
Oh, Adrian didn't like that.
Yeah,
Adrian didn't like that. Brayden ran up there and got his rose and got his hug and everything, and I'm like, oh yeah, Brayden gonna be around for a long time, guys.
Yeah,
because he is the villain of the show that all the guys must defeat.
Right. But Adrian, he is pulling a close second. Like I'm sick of both of them already.
Really? Hold on. Oh, you sick of Adrian?
I'm sick of Adrian.
Uh-huh.
He does too much gossiping for me. Are you really trying to get to know her? So, but I would have thought that Adrian, by him not getting the rose at the group date, maybe he would have changed his approach. But he didn't, and he ended up getting chosen bottom two.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if this is going to make him change his moves moving forward. But
yeah, this show is weird.
Yeah.
One note I wrote down. This is nothing major, but she did have someone on one time with Dalton, and he showed her his Nigerian ID or something like that like he keeps with him, and I was like, well, that's actually nice that he actually shares something, because you went through the whole episode and got guys telling on other guys and just weird stuff and she's on a date with Aaron S. or Aaron B. I think it was Aaron B. that she's on a date with, and they went and saw a concert with a singer named Lauren. I don't know who Lauren is.
Yeah, and she had to whisper it to him because I don't think he knew who she was either. Hey, she was a country singer.
Brother, I'm with you.
Yeah, and then there was a lot of CMT, like country music television, like commercials. So I was like,
Brother, I feel you. I didn't know who that was either.
Okay.
So seeing that made me feel good about his date, about his chances. Dalton, he is my second choice. But then they kiss, and I was like, oh. I was hoping that she didn't kiss him, and I was hoping, because I wrote down, oh, this is a real interaction that that he showed himself, and there was no transaction, no physical transaction that you can link to. But she kissed a lot of people this episode.
I thought
a kiss was basically replaced for a hug. So basically, if you say
everybody
yes,
get a kiss.
Everybody get a kiss.
I was worried. I was like, I hope she don't catch mono.
Even people saying, even people was asking like, hey, before I leave, I'm just gonna get a kiss and not no like peck on the cheek or anything like that. Like they kissing. This is what y'all like. So
yeah,
it just is what it is. Anything else?
Oh yeah, I did want to touch on when she got some one-on-one time with Joey. Okay. He was talking about growing up in his household and how his dad eventually came out as gay.
Oh yeah, and I think his dad remarried or somebody, or his mom remarried or somebody, or like, did I make that up?
Yeah, I don't remember that.
Okay.
But that was another time in one of her responses where it was just like, wow, thank you for sharing.
You're brave.
You're brave.
Mm-hmm.
So I want a little bit more from Charity, like a little more realness, vulnerability. And I know it's still really early. She has to vet these guys out.
Yeah.
But I want to see some more genuine connections and deeper conversations. So we'll see.
We see what the producers got planned for her.
Exactly.
and what games they go play next episode.
Yeah.
Because it's a game show. If you watch this show expecting a dating show, you may not like it. But if you change your perspective and say, oh, it's a game show, you'll be like, oh, okay, it's cool. Mm-hmm. It's cool. It's kind of like Fab 5. If you watch it expecting car racing, you're going to be disappointed after like the third or fourth one. But if you watch it like a superhero movie, you'll be like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
So hopefully y'all like the show. Hopefully y'all like the review. Anything else, Blair?
Nothing else. Thanks for stopping by. Comment. Let us know what you think about Adrian, Brayden. Are you on one of their sides, or can you not stand both of them like me? Like, how are you feeling?
Man, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, like Blair said, and y'all be good, man.
All right. Peace.